Hello. I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time now. I've reshot it probably a good 7 or 8 times at this point because I couldn't find the way in which I wanted to create this. I've tried different settings, different lighting, and this is kind of what I stuck with. This just seemed the most fitting. I tried doing in other areas within my house, and I just figured just keep it at home with the bedroom. So this is my luxurious place of living that you will be seeing me in and whatnot. So yeah. But a large reason as to why I've been hesitant to make this video is that in a lot of ways I'm scared. In a lot of ways I'm scared to give it a try, to do something like this. Why am I sitting here talking in front of a microphone in front of my desk? What's going on here? Why am I doing this? I think to get a better idea as to what I'm really talking about or getting at, you should probably get to know me a little bit. This is my first video doing this sort of thing, so I might as well introduce myself, say something and whatnot. So, hi. My name's Sam England. I'm from Iowa, out of all places. I'm 19. I graduated high school about 2 years ago, and I currently go to a community college, and I'm waiting to leave for the Air Force here in a few months. So, it's kind of a simple definition of what my life is right now and who I am. I'm going to assume a large reason as to why you clicked on this video is that either the title or maybe you know who I am and whatnot, but also because you're probably in a similar age range or in a very similar situation as to I am in life, where you don't exactly know what you're doing, you're still kind of figuring it out, and just adulting is really weird, and you don't really know what to do about it. So if you clicked on it for that reason, then you're the target audience I'm looking to seek here for this. So yeah, if you clicked on this video, some of you will at least have an idea as to who I am outside of this channel or some other projects I've done. So some of the things that I will talk on this video and future videos you might have some insight or awareness on. If this is the first time you're seeing me and seeing anything I put out, hi. It's nice to meet you. Happy you're here. So to kind of get into the topic of this video, I think what really scares me most about this is that I don't really feel like I'm good enough to make this. Like, you see all the people who come on here and make their own takes on certain things and talk about certain things and whatnot, and I don't feel like I deserve to be able to do that same thing. Like, you put other people on such a high pedestal. When you look at, like, anything you want to do, you look at the best in that field. You look at, like, say you want to play basketball, you're going to look at NBA players, you know what I mean, as, like, the standard for how you should be. And the reality is that's not exactly fair to do so. It's not fair to put other people and yourself and compare people who are the best at this thing with you who's just beginning. It's illogical. It doesn't make sense. But I say that because it's something I've also done throughout my life, through many different things. In a lot of ways, I am my own worst critic about things, and I will be the most judgmental of things. So even if I don't look at what other people are doing, you're going to look at yourself and what you're doing and think, I'm not good enough for this thing. That I don't deserve to have that sort of title and that sort of position, and that's going to hold you back at the end of the day. And it's held me back through many things I've wanted to do. I see many people who are, like, I would say scared, like, throughout life, who don't really know what to do. They kind of just play it safe. They want to be comfortable, you know? And that's natural as a human being to want to be comfortable with something. It's like, it's a good feeling. You like to feel like you belong in something and don't have to worry about the judgment of other people and whatnot. I think that's a fair thing to want, but how much do you really accomplish in a comfortable environment, you know? Now, I'm not sitting here and telling you to just face your deepest, darkest fears and whatever, because that's not the point. Especially today, that's illogical and stupid. You gotta have a plan for that sort of thing, and I do think that is something you should do at some point, but I'm not asking that from you today. What I'm asking you is to sit down, question what you like, and try on something. What I'm really trying to get at with all of this is that you can't be afraid to be who you are. You can't be afraid to try something new. And sure, you're not going to be good at this thing at first, whatever that may be. You're going to fail. You're going to go through trial and tribulations just to figure it out. And that's just kind of how the human experience is in general. But if you sit down and you think about doing something for your entire life, eventually you're not going to have any life left to do that thing. You're going to run out of time eventually. And I worry that for people, that for those who want to go and do the things they want to do, that they're going to sit and think about it too long, and then that opportunity is going to pass for them. And the first step to doing anything new in life is accepting that you will not be good at this at first, or at least not as good as you would like to be, and that's perfectly fine. I think to get a better grasp as to what I'm trying to get at in terms of trying something new, I want to talk about a point in time where I took a different approach to a different outlet, and it has changed my life forever at this point. Way back in like December of 2021, I released my first song on YouTube. I was a musician for a period of time. I went by the name Pablo the Penguin, and yes, I named myself after the Backyardigans character. It was something that I knew I wasn't very good at. I was aware of the fact that I really didn't know how to make music. I was kind of learning this on the fly and through inspirations of people who are far more talented than me around me, and just picking up what they gave me and kind of just rolling with it. Just a broad, public, like, way of me trying to learn something and just be better at something. And there was a lot of passion in that. There was a lot of, like, thought that went into what I was doing and creating. And for a moment in time, it was really a great thing for me, and I loved it. Around early 2023, I realized that something changed with the way in which I approach music. This passion that I had for the last 2 years became less of something out of my own personal interest and desire to be better at something, and more or less the judgment of people around me. It became something where I wanted to appease people and get them talking, just have attention. I wanted people to just care about what I was doing more than the care I have for this thing that I love. For a lot of my life growing up, I really struggled with making new connections. I was a very lonely kid for a lot of my existence, and I just wanted people to just care about what I was doing. So I think that element of my personal life just carried over to this thing once I got people talking about something I was doing, because I just wanted people to care about this more than myself at that point. And then May 2023 comes around, and I'm gearing up to release my first mixtape, and I knew before this came out that I'm backing away from this. I can't do this. So I do a performance, I release the mixtape, and then I vanish. I stopped, I walked away, and I kind of just went about life pretending this doesn't exist. And I have yet to come back to this. I've thought about it and doing so in a different way, and maybe I will at some point. But I think for the time being, it's something I should just stop and just let it be what it is. And just kind of do my own thing for a little bit. And then if I do come back to it, I do come back to it. But for the way in which it ended, I really struggle to come back to that. I'm not happy with the way I ended things, especially with the mentality that carried me over. And I'm in a lot of ways scared to come back to something I'm still passionate about in a lot of ways. This journey of mine that I had through learning music ended about 2 years ago. The fact that I let the opinions of other people and myself hijack something that I was deeply passionate about still bothers me to an extent to this day. However, through all the rough parts of all this, through how terrible I've made this experience sound, there is one thing about it that I will reminisce on and look back fondly on for the rest of my life. It's the fact that I did something new, that I tried, that I went out and I said, you know what, it doesn't matter what people think. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm not going to care about what people think, at least to a certain point, obviously. But for the first year or so of me doing this, it was more or less about what I wanted to do, because I was passionate about something and I wanted to create art. It didn't have to be good, it didn't have to be innovative. You've seen this sort of thing through millions of other people, and I'm just another person who just tried. But I did it. But I did that thing, and I'm always thankful for the fact that I stuck to my gut. I was such an introverted kid growing up, and doing probably the most extroverted thing I possibly could. I don't know anyone else who has asked their school, hey, can I perform at the assembly and whatnot, where the entire school is there, and you're just like, it doesn't matter. I want to do this because I love this. I'm always thankful for that, and I always will be. From this experience, I have become a far better human being. I have learned so much more about myself. I have developed a really strong friend group and social circle from this, and I probably wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for this experience and this time that I had throughout high school. I think we've all had that thought, that idea, that passion and whatnot that we've wanted to do but we've never done because we don't know how it's going to turn out. You sit in your bed late at night and you question, is this something I'd be good at? Can I do this? Am I enough for this? Am I really able to do this? I can't say there's a definitive answer for that question, and that's kind of something you have to figure out, but what I can tell you is that you don't know the answer unless you take that step. Unless you take that leap and you try that thing that you want to do because you want to do it and no one else's opinion matters on it. People may judge you. People judged me for what I've done through any creative outlet of mine, and I have judged myself more than anyone, but at the end of the day, who really cares? People are selfish at the end of the day, and they don't really tend to focus on one thing or another because everyone's got their own lives, everyone's got other things to worry about. So what you're doing right now, sure, they may talk about it, but it's not going to be at the central point of their mind all the time. So with that in mind, why not take a chance at something knowing that you could fail time and time again? I failed. I failed a lot as a musician, and I still have the mentality that I did fail. But at the least I learned something from it. At least I became a better person from this experience, and I will always be thankful for that. And I promise you, you will share that same resonance that I do with anything you do, even if you fail at it. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be uncertain about something and to not know if it's the best thing for you. But I promise you that you will be so much happier as a person if you make those ideas and those things that you want to do a reality. If you push the boundaries for yourself, if you step outside of your comfort zone and you try something different because you want to, and it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say because you are your own person and you should live as such. I am more or less making this video to spark interest in people, to get you thinking a little bit, and maybe to talk about it with other people around you about either what I'm doing or about whatever I talk about, and to see if some of the things that I talked about here can resonate with you or other people around you that you know. Please feel free to comment or ask questions to me. I'm really bad at responding to stuff, but at some point I'll get around to it, and I think it's a good thing for people to engage with this sort of thing in any way that they please, I guess. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it, especially for my first one, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure you eat something good today. Thank you.